Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's the F3 division, coming to you live round the Japanese circuit in Suzuka, a very formidable track, a track that you need to be completely understanding with everything that is going on with it, and a track before which has changed the scene of a lot of championships in the past, especially on the first lap. Are we going to be seeing anything like that today? We'll have to wait and see. In a very competitive F3 division, we'll see what's going on. But again, a quite formidable track that sets the scene for this race. The uniqueness, obviously, of the track being the figure eight going over the bridge and under the bridge, but of course many famous corners, many difficult corners that outline this track. I'm RSF1 Rubens, also known as Michael. I will be joined by Source later on in the stream. He's just doing something important today. But yes, apart from that, we should be all ready to go. 16 drivers are going to be taking it around here, and let's see what we're about to see. And I hope everybody is okay today on this lovely Monday evening, as the first driver out is Musical Rocket in the Williams, the guy in very, very good form going into this race. Three race wins from 8 starts, I think it is. Yeah, and he's been doing very, very well recently, and he'll be looking to carry on the momentum as he goes round Japan. Those that are unfamiliar with the system, we're looking at our top 15 drivers, so one will be eliminated from this session. But of course, if you crash in this session, you are also out on the spot. You will take no further part in the qualifying, and that's not what people want at all. And as I mentioned, this is a track that you can make mistakes on very, very easily. So people will be on the watch out, as we head out. There's a few going around in their practice laps. A few of these guys, obviously with only 16 drivers in it, won't be pressured too much. They just want to get a time on the board, get themselves through to the next session. We'll see what's going on. We've got Crazy Fish in the Red Bull, just coming up behind the McLaren of Spooky, that must be, because he's a lone McLaren tonight. There he is, just in front as they go through Spoon Curve. But Musical Rocket is going to be the first to set a lap, so we're right on board with him briefly. Those that missed out on Russia, so last week it was Swift in the Ferrari. Swift, another driver that has been setting alight the positions and the times ever since he's joined RSF1 in F3. It is only his third race that he's become a new winner in the RSF1 Winners Club. P2, second place was, I believe, Ripon One Shot, who was a reserve. He's now full-time driving the Williams. So he's driving his first race for the British team. Third place on the podium was Quaker Oats. And Quaker Oats, that is a valuable podium for his own Drivers' Championship, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, that third place was very, very valuable for him. Blazer Guns also another valuable position, because that's his best result in a very, very rough season that he's had, Mr. Blazer Guns, in the AlphaTauri. P5 is Stretch in the Mercedes, current championship leader going into this race, but although he's been slowly chipped by this guy, Musical Rocket. But Musical Rocket was since 6th, so really needs to beat Stretch. There's only 5 more races after this one. Well, there's 5 including this one. There's only 4 after this one. So yeah, he's going to have to continue to beat Stretch, even by a little bit, if he wants to take the away from him. A 27.1 though from Musical Rocket is a very solid lap time to begin this session. We're going to have a few more drivers go around. Here is Swift, last week's race winner in the Ferrari. Just coming out the last corner now. Of course, doesn't have that dreaded bump anymore. And he goes 27.2, just behind Musical Rocket. The pair of them are doing very well in qualifying so far. Expect to see a pretty close battle between the two. Although Crazy Fish has just popped him in between. The Red Bull, 27-2 as well. Very close times to begin. P7 was Crazy Fish in the Red Bull. Speak of the devil. P8 was Quirky Turtle. P9 was Shane in the Renault. And then P10 was Millsy in the Alfa Romeo. And actually Millsy is still carrying on that point scoring record that he's got from the start of the season. Albeit, I think his best result, is 6th. Oh no, he got a 3rd place, sorry, in Hungary. I do apologise, Millsy. Because you did get a podium in that time. But yeah, he's been in the points every race so far, Millsy has. Can he continue on? That would be very impressive if you can have the whole season in the points. Yeah, very good stuff so far. Very close. Top 3 covered by a 10th. It'll go around, but we're not really looking at the times. Obviously looking at the top 15, as I mentioned. As we'll continue to ride on board with Rappin One Shot. Rippin One Shot? Rappin One Shot? I think it's Rippin. I think that's an I. I'm not sure. As he just comes out of the spoon curve, just heading down to 130R. Oh, there's a collision further back. That's Toxic MW in the Renault. See if I can grab on board with Spooky. He's just lost it in the X of the massive way. Wow, right in the middle of the track as well. So Toxic will be taking no further part in the qualifying, and that's a massive off at the edge of the spoon curve. And good thing for Spooky, he was well aware of the Renault in front of him, so very difficult thing for him. Quaker Oats 4th place in the AlphaTauri. Good for him to get into 4th again. Still in the championship, but he really needs to continue getting some good results. Who else is on the lap? Millsy just coming on the end of the 1st sector. There's a Red Bull, I think. That's Eyes, actually. In the Red Bull just finishing off. Got Quirky Turtle, is that? Yes, Quirky Turtle and Haas. Just coming up to the Casio Triangle Chicane, of course, the famous place where Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost had that collision. 1990, I believe it was. As Rockets is on a 26.7. That was a very quick time. Top of the session as Quirky does a 28.1 to currently go 10th. Very quiet chat at the moment. I've got the viewers gradually ebbing into the stream, which is not a problem at all. As Swift then beats Musical Rocket. I did say there was a battle between them. And they've currently got about half a second of the rest of the field. 26.5 from Swift. Very, very good time from him. Could be a head-to-head duel between them two for pole position, unless somebody else can get involved. Yeah, very, very good stuff so far. I see we have 8 viewers watching, so if you can give a hi. I'm by myself. I want some communication, so if you're in the chat, say hi. Don't be shy. As Eyes is just coming through the 130R. These days, of course, completely flat out. Shouldn't really see any problems there unless you're trying to overtake someone. Shane gets very good out of the way. Through the Casio Triangle Chicane. Again, no bump on the exit there, just before the pit lane, and goes 6th on a 27.6. That's not too bad. There. Yay, Swift says hey, with many Y's in the end. Hi Swift, good lap, by the way. You're meant to be racing or qualifying, so on. Muddy, why you put me on the spot like that? Here's my pick for pole. Well, my head says one thing and my heart says another. Always go with my head, I guess. I'll probably go Swift for pole. Although that's easy to say, considering, you know, he's topping the session already. I think the one that actually does technically need it is Musical Rocket, because I said he needs to beat Stretch in this championship to take it away from him. Evening to Aaron, saying hello all in the chat as well. Yeah, I think people just suddenly realise there's a stream on because we're up to 10 viewers now, so fantastic stuff. As Shane just heads out of the spoon curve. Fortunately doesn't make the same mistake as his teammate so far, MW, who has already crashed, and he'll be taken no further part. Gonna put the pressure off for everyone else, actually. He will be the one leaving the session, as Shane is going to head out the last corner. 28. 0 goes 11th. And that leaves Matty and Camo to set a lap with just over 8 minutes to go. So, championship-wise, we need to start talking about that. So, after the result in Russia, RSF1 Stretch leads the championship still by 15 points. He most importantly beat Musical Rocket in that race. When in one sense, if you remember that race, Stretch was actually in a incident in the first corner, was 4 wide going into turn 1, and had to take hard tyres from lap 2 to the end, and managed to actually beat Musical Rocket in the race. Could prove very, very crucial actually for Stretch's championship potential at the end of all this. 15 points though is still a gap that Rocket can overtake even at this race. If Stretch has a difficult one and Rocket has, you know, a minimum 3rd place, he can take the lead of the championship away. Quaker Oats is 113 points he has. He is, if my maths are good, 39 points behind. That is catchable, but Quaker Oats has to consolidate. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Very solidly beat the other two. He needs to get a couple of race wins under his belt, which he has had in the last few races, but he needs to have a couple more, I think, in these next two. Really needs to do well today to continue the momentum that he has. 4th place is Camo on 90 points. Now, 4th place is important, by the way, any ladies and gentlemen watching, for the Race of Champions at the end of the season. You should all know about it by now if you saw the comms announcement or the whatever committee announcement it was. There goes Camo up to 12th, just ahead of Shane. Being very close recently. Yes, Race of Champions, end of the season. So what that means basically, we're going to have one big hurrah, one big final series, I guess, mini races, that, if you like, including the top 4 of the championship from every division. 20 drivers in all, 3 races, 3 25% races with different grids, you know, just to mix things up a little bit. Using multiplayer cars as well would be interesting, so everyone should be on like an equal playing field. But yes, the top 4 from each championship qualify for this Race of Champions. It's kind of like a Champions League in football. The track selection, by the way, will be released at the end of this week. Anyone that is interested. So, and everyone in the Discord should be able to vote on that. As Shane improves to 27.5. Good lap from Shane there in the Renault. Yeah, so the track selection, obviously you've got to vote on 3 tracks. I think there's going to be like 8 in total. And the top 3 after like a couple of weeks on the vote will be racing at. And as I said, everybody in the Discord will be able to vote on which one you like. Oh yeah, big hint, Monaco is not there. Imagine we did a race around Monaco again. Or Vietnam. I guess why not Vietnam, because we're not going to race there anymore. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. But the main thing you need to know is if you want to race in it, you need to get into that top 4 in your tier, or in your division. It's the most important thing. As it's getting very, very cloudy. It was sunny, I guess, clear. At the start of this, it's getting very dark. Might get some rain in Q2. Anyway, I'll carry on. So Camo is currently holding that 4th place on 90 points, but he is catchable with Eagle next on 75. I is the best on 62. Millsy on 61. So, you know, his constant points record could end up being in the top 4 place at the end of everything. Shane on 57. Spooky on 54 with Koala 49. Swift on 44. Quirky Turtle on 43. Ghastly on 35. Toxic MW 31 points, DPS on 21. Matty is on 18 points, followed by Crazy Fish 16, Laser Guns 15, Brave Container on 13, and Grunty on 6 points. Just keeping an eye on Millsy here. He technically needs to beat MW's time, which is about 3/10. So we'll see as he crosses the middle sector. Should be alright, I would imagine. Yeah, he's only a 10th up, might have to yeet it. With the Castillo Triangle, well, not yeet it, it needs to come through. 2 turns of the wheel, a little bit awkward. Through the last part as well. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. He lost the 10th that he had. In the chicane there, so he's in a bit of bother. Is Millsy there? How many races left? 4 after this one, Aaron. You've got USA next week, Mexico, Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi is the finale, of course. So yeah, 5 including this one. So not many races left. It's kind of scary, actually, how we've flown through the season. It's just raced by, if you excuse the pun, of course. And still, we've got the top 2 in the 26s at the moment. Nobody else in there, although... Are they fully pushing, I guess? Or is that the advantage those 2 at the top have? Musical Rocket and Swift. Looking very good so far, but Millsy here, he's going on a bit of a slow lap, saving a bit of VRS. Thinking, okay, just save it a little bit. Which you can obviously do on these tyres as well. You can go multiple laps, so that's perfectly fine. Got Quirky Turtle out on an out lap. Stretch actually improved to 4th place on a 27.2, so that's a pretty decent improvement from him. So let's see what Millsy... It actually cleared up. When I say we might get rain, it's now well, no, around here at this part of the track, it's a bit more cloudy. But then you get to the where the bridge is and where Spoon Curve is, it's actually brightened up a little bit. Let's see if Millsy needs to find another 3/10 here. Otherwise he's going to be out in the session, and we're only going to have 14. Because obviously Toxic MW is out as well, and he's had a big slide and he's off into the wall. He's lucky that he's got all 4 wheels, but that's how easy it is, especially for the S section. In that first part, you get it all wrong and into the wall. I don't think he's got enough time to get round again, so Millsy's going to be out in the first session. And that's a real shame for him, so we are going to have 14, as long as Quirky doesn't retire as well. That's a shame for Millsy there. 16th he will start. Again, I don't think he's at the hairpin. I don't think he's going to get round in time. Quirky's on a personal best in Sector 1. He's going under the bridge there. That's where the crossover is. A bit sideways coming out of the hairpin. Quickly, the constructors. Red Bull are leading the way on 282 points. Second is Williams on 252. They are closing quite rapidly, considering Rocket's couple wins lately. Oh, there goes Millsy. He's actually had an off in there. Oh, he's getting out of the way of Quirky, probably. Racing Point is on 238. They're quite close as well. As is Mercedes, 227. That's 55 points from the top 4, so it's anybody's. In the constructors. Ferrari on 185, AlphaTauri on 128, just ahead of Renault 126. Romeo on 102, McLaren 95, and Haas on 88. Well, Q1 is going to be over. And as I said, we will lose MW after his crash. Then the Spoon Curve, and Millsy unfortunately couldn't get ahead of that 28-0, so he will also be out of the session. Swift, is it possible for me to get 4th? Let me have a look at another... not words. Let me have another look at the standings. And I will tell you, Mr. Swift. Let me get them up again. So you are 44 points. You are 46 behind 4th place Camo. If you carry on at the rate you're going, you know, with obviously the win last time out, you're looking pretty good here as well. It is possible. I think it does require Camo and Eagle and probably Ice the best to have a few, you know, difficult races in these next 5. It is possible. It's definitely possible. It's worth getting, I think, if you want to be a part of it, Swift. That's my view on that. So we are currently waiting. Oh, there we go. Taking its time. Right now. Yes, I hope it'll be a good ending as well, Swift. That's the idea, really, with this Race of Champions, is one last hurrah in this game before we move our thoughts onto 2021. Because obviously we finished this season 2 weeks before, well, not exactly 2 weeks, but, you know, 2 weeks on the release date. Obviously, if you have, not trying to plug or anything, but if you have the deluxe edition, you get it 3 days early, which I do. I'm looking forward to that. Let's get added extras as well, so on and so forth. But yeah, a couple of weeks from when we finish this season, the last race, which will be the F4 race in Abu Dhabi. Before we head on, it hasn't actually cleared up. The clouds are going a little bit as we head into Q2 now. Obviously, this is where the strategy comes into play. So you'll be starting on the tyres that you set your fastest lap on, whether that be softs or mediums here. And the general consensus, we've only had one race, obviously. That was the F2 race yesterday, which I say I raced. I kind of trundled round because I don't like this circuit in terms of, you know, racing it. I like watching it. I'm looking forward to this one. Racing it, I don't like it at all. So, yeah. Anyway, general consensus is hards, don't touch them unless you want to recover something, similar to last week. Ideal strategy is mediums to soft. The problem with the mediums is they're so much slower than the softs. You'll be tough to get through to Q3 on the medium tyres, but if you do, you're in a very good position because softs at the end, especially fresh softs, are very, very quick because of the extra grip, obviously, that you get. And because you've got so many tough corners here, you need that extra grip. The mediums are difficult to work with. That's just from my own personal experience. Again, a few people are trying it on the mediums. Spooky being one of them. He's going to be the first to set a lap on. But we've got a switch in strategy between the Red Bulls. Eyes on the mediums, Fish on the softs, Grunty, Stretch on the mediums, Rapid One Shot on the mediums as well. So a few definitely trying it. But again, if you can get through, great. I'll take my virtual hat off for you though, if you do. We'll keep on board with Spooky actually. I was thinking of going to somewhere else, but we'll give Spooky a little bit of extra camera time as he will take us through a lap of the Suzuka Japanese circuit. Hold your breath because it's wild ride pretty much. As we head through the final corner, no bump to contend with as we open up the DRS down the front straight, roughly about 200 miles an hour, maybe just over. Head into turn 1, kind of a double apex right-hander. You've got to kind of aim for the second apex here, get the exit. And then into turn 3 and 4, the S's. You've got to be very careful of the curves, because if you hit them wrong, as we saw with Millsy earlier, it can throw you off into the barriers. The key is the exit. Try and be flat on the exit, but it's very difficult, and you can see the curb on the outside. That can chuck you off very easily, as it did to me yesterday, ended my race prematurely. Then the two Degners, very, very quick. Minding the exit once again as we head up to the hairpin, which I'm sure is named after a Japanese driver. It might be Kobayashi or Sato. Mind the exit. And then this long curved right-hander, which has a little chicane if you're doing an alternative layout, which fortunately we're not. And then into the spoon curve. Again, looking at the epics, do not run too far wide, as Spooky has just demonstrated, as that is in the validation. carry on with the rest of the lap though, and as we head over the bridge, which is just about now, and then you've got to turn into 130R, which is completely flat these days on any tyre, any track, any car really, and then into the Castillo Triangle chicane at the end of the lap, and then flat out through the right-hander. Again, it used to be a horrible bump as you went past the pit lane entrance, but thankfully, as I said, it's gone now because it wasn't there in real life. Why it was there in the first place? Email Codemasters, basically, is the solution to that one. So Spooky will be going again on his tyres, obviously. Eyes the best is on a 27.6 on the mediums. That's a pretty solid time. Although it's beaten by 2/10 by Ripon One Shot. That's a very good lap on the mediums. 27.4. Yeah, we kind of saw, obviously, with the high 26s earlier. Maybe the mediums aren't actually that bad, you know, in terms of time between them and the softs. But again, though, like before, if you can get through them, if you get through into Q3 on them, then it's very good for you. Quaker Oats is deciding to go aggressive on the soft tyre strategy. Should comfortably go fastest, and he does. A 26.8. Very good lap from Quaker Oats. That should be him safely through into Q3. And of course, he doesn't want to take any more out of that tyre. He's going to go slowly, or should go slowly, back into the pits. Who is going to be next? McLaren is Spooky again. On a second lap on the mediums. He backed out of this? Seems to me... no. Done another slow lap. Is he going to do a third lap on the mediums? That's an interesting one. Interesting call to make. Who else is on the lap? Camera just going through the spoon curve again. You don't want to ride that curb on the outside too much. He heads down to 130R. Cameron, the Racing Point, has had a very difficult few weeks. I think he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 very difficult races. Wrong place at the wrong time, basically. He's only picked up 2 points in the last 8 races. So really needs to get back onto it because he's still in the championship fight. He decides to bail that lap back into the pits, obviously thinking not going to get through on that lap on the medium, so maybe go back to softs. Yeah, Cameron needs to get back in the points on a consistent basis. Very hard fought 9th place a couple of weeks ago in Singapore. Only rewards so far in the last few weeks. As Quirky goes through 130 again. It's just completely flat these days now. The chicane, pretty nice through there. Quirky's not going to challenge Quaker Oats for 27.9 on the softs, not too bad. Excuse me. Just taking a little swig of my drink at the moment, which is Old Moot Cider. As Swift is off into the wall. And how on earth is he not retired? When spinning off into the wall, that's the third part of the S's. And he is very, very fortunate. Oh boy, he did say actually in the chat, it's his first race with no traction control. And, well, that's pretty much summed it up, really. If you're not fully attached to it, you can really hook it up one lap, which obviously you did in Q1, but then the next lap, all it takes is a little bit too eager on the throttle, and off you go. He's got to regroup. Again, 9 times out of 10, that impact would be retirement on the spot. Yeah, he's okay. So be heading back into the pits. Probably put on a pair of softs now, because those tyres will probably be gone. Blaze is on a solid lap on the mediums, 27.9 as well. So all very close, mediums and softs, no matter which one the drivers pick. Jeez. Right, MW. It didn't. Hey, that's a bit peculiar. It didn't. MW. Oh, Swift has dropped it. He's oh, he's way off in the... How on earth has he done that? He had no front wings, so he should really have been coasting back to the pits. I presume he'll tell us in the chat, because he's very talkative in the chat as well, but that's a peculiar one. So Swift will be taking no farther part, and he was topping the session in Q1, so that's a big surprise. He'll be working his way up from the grid from about 15th place at best. There's a Rocket. You can see with the mediums, you've really got to sort of grab a hold of them. And a lot of turning of the wheels. He went through the exit of the S's. Shane's gone a 27.2 in the softs, so Shane's looking pretty handy. Not touching Quaker. I think Quaker is definitely safe on a 26.8. Keep an eye on Rocket as he goes through Spoons. Slight touch of the grass. That's not going to get him right at all. It's a bit of a rough lap from Rocket so far. And again, he was another contender at the top of the Q1 session. So if he's struggling as well, this might open it up for somebody else. Or the others to really get in there. It's exactly what Quaker Oats is kind of thinking here. Despite the mistakes, he's done 27.2. Yeah, I did give a commentator's curse to Swift. I do apologise. As Rocket has done a very good lap, but 27.2 on the mediums, and despite a few mistakes as well. So, another lap from him. Just under 5 minutes to go. So top 10. Swift is in that top 10, but he was on the mediums. He's currently on the softs. In fact, everyone apart from Rippin' One Shot and Rocket, both Williams, are now fitted on the softs when they were originally on the mediums. So we'll see if both Williams drivers get through on the medium tyres. Here comes Camo. 27.1. Goes to second. That's pretty good. Hasn't been in Q3 for a while as Camo, so maybe that will break his duck there. Who else is on the lap? His teammate Grunty is just coming through the hairpin now. He's already done a lap on the mediums. He has. He did a 28.4. So needs to get firmly in the 27s, I think, on this lap. Put himself relatively safe. Through Spoon, slight understeer on the exit. Doesn't cost you all that much, but had to wait forever to get on the throttle. That's going to cost you all the way down this straight. 6 tenths up. That puts 27.8. He's not going to find that much time in the chicane. And find maybe a couple more attempts he can nail it. Which kinda does. Oh no, he's bailed it. He's thinking, is that either strategy or is he going to go with another set? We'll see what he does. So who's under pressure here? So Stretch, championship leader, is out at the moment in 11th. Although he set those on medium, so if he goes out on softs he should be fine. Quirky's right on the bubble, he's on an out lap. Blazer Guns also set a lap on the mediums. Currently 9th. Eyes the Best as well in 8th. And you've got Spooky, Grunty, Swift is already out. And you've got Matty, who's yet to set a lap. Currently in 15th in the other Ferrari. Right, Eyes the Best. Let's ride on board of him. Looking to firmly put himself into the next session. Why is Swift out? Well, had an off through the S's, Millsy, and then next thing I see was he had lost it at the chicane, and I have no idea why, because he had no front wing and would have probably been coasting, so I'm guessing fault somewhere. Either way, Eyes the Best nicely through the S's, 3 tenths up on his lap, which is just what he needs. Up to Sato Kobayashi hairpin. I don't know whether it actually is that, but Oh, controller batteries fell out. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Well, I'm on a wireless. So, yeah, I'm on a wireless controller. So, but I do feel the pain. Jeez. That's unlucky, Swift. Make sure you got, either find a compartment to keep the batteries in, or something else to solve that issue, because if that happens in the race, obviously there's no going back. This is in qualifying, no? Spooky goes 8 for 27.6, but Eyes is about to finish the lap bit. Wayward on the curb, on the exit, goes 27.0. Lost like a tenth or two. Teammate Crazy Fish, 26.8. Crazy Fish looking good. Both Red Bulls looking pretty alright. Even Rocket and Rip and One Shot don't feel safe, and to be fair, they're down to 5th and 6th, only a few tenths ahead of the drop zone. Shane's already retired. Matty gets in the top 10. Into 9th. He's on his way around. Who else is coming through? MW, that's on an outlap. Rip and One Shot's just started. Musical Rocket just started. Also on his outlet. Oh, Matty's out as well! The other Ferrari, where's he dropped that? That's the first S's. That's the same place as where Millsy dropped it, but he went further in and he's out. Both Ferraris crashing in Q2. And that's a real shame for that team there. Spooky, is he on another lap? Yes, he's 2 tenths up. This will put him a little bit safer. Shane also, I think Shane's also out as well, because he did a 27.2, and he's his time has dropped down to 9th, so he must have had an off there. Spooky goes 4th. So a lot of crashes in this Q2 session. That's 3 people out. And so here comes Quirky. He's currently 11th. Does he put himself into the top 10? Just. He goes 9th. Matches the time of MW. Stretches next. 4th. Breathe a sigh of relief for the championship leader. Goes to 4th. Blazers unfortunately invalidated, so he'll be 13th. It's just Grunty left to go. To see, he needs to beat, needs to be about a 27.5, and he's a second up, which is just enough. No, needs to find a bit more. Both Williams have aborted their laps because they're safely through on the medium tyres. Grunty goes 7th. To put the Williams 8th and 9th, which means both Renaults are out, as is Quirky, both Ferraris and Blazer Guns also. Only the Williams of Rocket and Rip and One Shot got through on the mediums. That could be very crucial for their race going forward. Crazy Fish topping the session on the 26.8, just ahead of Quaker. What happened with Shane? Race director instance definitely was terminal damage. Yeah, he's crashed it as well. So both Ferraris and Shane. I didn't see Shane's one. All of a sudden noticed it, so that's a shame for him. But I think he managed to stay in 10th. Yes, he did. So we're going to have 9. All separated by half a second in the next session. So dramatic Q2 ends with Swift in 15th. Obviously crashing at that chicane. Controller batteries unfortunately fell out there. Blazer Guns in 14th. Didn't obviously invalidated on his soft run, so we never know where he could have ended up. He's 14th. Matty crashed it in the first part of the S's. Quirky Turtle just missed out in 12th. MW confuses me because I'm sure he crashed in Q1, yet he was able to take, I don't know, I questions. And then Shane obviously crashed on his lap as well, but again, unfortunately I didn't see that. In 10th place. Guys in the chat, how's the stream, by the way? I'm guessing it's alright, because no one has said it's not alright, but just checking. It's It's lagging a little bit on my laptop, but I think it's just my laptop. Always been like that. Just to double check, everything looks okay. We go forward. Source will be joining me. RSF1 Source will be joining me. Hopefully before the race starts. Thank you, Melzy. Everything's fine as we head into Q3. 2 racing points, 2 Red Bulls, 2 Williams, 1 AlphaTauri, 1 Mercedes, and 1 McLaren in this session. And this could be a very close one. Few contenders. I think it's very, very close because I've seen One Shot, Musical Rocket, the 26s. You're going to be in the 26s, I think. You have to be to challenge the pole. I think it may be 26.4, 26.5, around about that one. Anything lower than that would be very, very impressive, but it wouldn't be surprising. They all push each other very hard. I guess the question is, who needs the pole position the more? And I think in championship terms, I think Quaker Oats needed the most. And he needs to really beat Stretch and Musical Rocket by a considerable margin. It's not a place really he needs. He needs like a few places. He needs like Stretch and Rocket to be 8th and 9th and Quaker to be winning. Let's see who can grab pole. Weapon One Shot's going to be the first one, and then Quaker's, then his teammate Rocket in the track, or third in the queue if you like. Eyes the Best and Camo leaving it very late. Maybe they've only got no, Eyes the Best is just clear track. Camo's just heading out as Weapon One Shot starts his lap. I'm sure he'll be up. Sure will stay out of the way. Okay, well, he understands. All good. Weapon One Shot heads into turn 1. Slight kick of the grass before he turns in, and that's not going to help him, but he just about got away with it. They're going to be so confident through these S's right here, the left and the right. It all flows one after another. If you mess up one part, you're going to be offline and awkward for the next part, but he's done it pretty well. Into the 2 Degners, chuck the car in. Into the second part as well. Nicely over the curb. You can run the car over the curb. You see you can run it flat. No problems. Slightly deeper in the chicane. As long as you carry... Not the chicane. Hairpin. As long as you carry the speed through, it's alright. And then heading down to Spoon again. Double apex left hander. Don't run it too far wide. On the right. Carry the speed through on the exit. Bit of understeer, but it's alright. Of course, you're going to get that understeer on this lap because obviously the tyres at this point, they'll be heated. We've lost a little bit of the grip, but you should just have enough left to go through the chicane. Again, another tight touch the grass a little bit. He's done that a couple of times on this lap. It cost him a little. 26, 27 flat. We've seen quicker, but that's a very solid banker from One Shot. There goes Quaker, the 26.8. Rocket validates. Oh no, there he comes. Here comes Rocket. And it's 27.0, just ahead of his teammate. So Quaker beats both Williams. As Grundy... Oh, Camo! Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Another victim of the S-curbs. Straight into the wall. Got a massive tank slapper. Couldn't catch it in time, and off he goes. Another meme suggestion, I think, possibly. A lot there, jeez. And this just shows how difficult a track this is. You got to respect it. In a way, as Crazyfish goes 27.4 to 4th. His teammate Eyes the Best is... No, he's backed off on his lap, as is Stretch. And they're the only 2. Spooky's on another lap. Is anybody else? Rocket is. Let's see how Rocket's getting on. He has hit 26 before as Rocket, so we know he's capable of doing so. Been on a second lap by the looks of it, and he's a 10th up. That would put him in the 26s. Clips the grass though, and that'll wash off a little bit of speed. Bit of lock up through the Casio Triangle. And it's a 26. Does it beat him? No, by 200ths. Again, more mistakes. It's not a complete 100% hooked up lap, I think, from what I saw at the end of it. Hit that grass in a 130R, so Spooky improves 27-1 to 4th. So pretty close times. 3 attempts covering the top 4. Eyes might join him, although he's a 1,000th up in his first sector. Sees he comes up through the hairpin. It's short shift on the exit, or double short shift on the exit, from 2nd to 3rd, and then straight up to 5th. Spoon curves, slight touch of the grass in the entrance. Nice on the exit though. Rebel looking very planted. Of course, everyone on equal cars. Of course, we all know equal cars doesn't mean exactly completely equal. Obviously, they have their characteristics. Right in the edge of fuel and DRS. You know, oh, I know he's backed out of it. Had a big sideways moment on the exit. Of course, that, as I keep saying, that bump is gone. You can still very easily lose it in the end of that chicane. But round 1 is done in terms of Q3. So we're down to 8. Stretch never finished his lap, and that's big pressure for Stretch. You never want to leave it to just 1 lap. We'll see what he can do. Maybe he's going to go out on another lap here. So all back in the pits and it all calms down. Briefly, until we get a Red Bull coming out. Crazy Fish. We do see people do this. They don't want to go out in the hustle and bustle the last 2 minutes. They want clean track, so this is what Crazy Fish deciding to do. So yeah, Race of Champions, end of the season. Date, obviously day is not decided. That'll be up to the drivers, see which ones they can do. Few minor details on that. Obviously it'll be the top 4 in the championship. Goes to 5th and 6th if obviously they can't make it. We decide on the day and they can't make it, obviously goes to 5th and 6th in each championship. They'll be paired up into their teams. So you have a teams championship, you have a drivers championship as well. There's a few little gimmicks in it to make it as close as possible, basically. For example, the first race has tier 5 drivers start on the grid in the first 4 positions, then the tier 4, then tier 3. So you have the tier 1 drivers, arguably the fastest, starting from the back, and they've obviously got to patiently work their way through the first race. And then the second race is going to be completely random as well. So, and it's equal cars, none of this Red Bull or Mercedes or anything. They're going to be multiplayer cars, so you can actually put like your own livery on it. Although the colours, again, complete ins and outs will be properly explained, but long story short, tier 1 will be a certain colour, tier 2 will be a certain colour, so we can tell which one is which. But they can put their own design on it. So like tier 1 is going to be red and tier 2 will be blue and so on and so forth, basically. So the comms, whoever the comms is, probably me and somebody else, can see at a glance who's in what division, for example, pretty much. Yeah, that should be a whole good evening, of course. Hopefully good racing. We'll be telling everybody to behave themselves, of course, which they all do, 90% of the time. So, should be good. Obviously, you don't get like a massive prize at the end of it. It's just pride, I guess. But should be all good. Crazy Fish with his spoon curve now, and everyone else is now out on their out laps or on a lap already. Stretches on a lap already, just coming through the hairpin. Crazy this now. Coming down to 130R. Nicely through the triangle. The chicane at the end of the lap. Solid exit. 26 to 27.1 goes 5th. Moved by 2/10. Stays around 5th place. Now Stretch. Yet to set a lap. About to finish one now. And a lot of pressure. One unknown. Well, he's going to have time for another. It's a lot of pressure. Unwanted pressure. The 26.9 though. Goes P3. His first lap and he's straight to the top 5. Very nice. Spooky though. Goes within 1,000th of Quaker Oats. An 8.28 to an 8.27. But I's the best tops it. 26.5. One shots. Just starting a lap. Rocket as well in a lap. I's the best. 26.5. In the Red Bull. Fastest lap of the evening so far, I think. Might be only just. This is more like it. This is where the lap time's coming out. Quaker Oats is down on his next attempt, and in fact he's got the ERS. He's got to be very, very careful he doesn't run out of time. He's got 10 seconds. He should make it. Gonna be close though, and yeah, he's just made the line. Crazy Fish won't make the line. And he's 2 temps down anyway, so I don't think he's going to be improving. He stays 7th for him, so Stretch is next. He's backed out. Spooky is also backed out. There's a Williams of one shot who's also going slow. Rocket, there's pole position man, is going out of the way, so he's done. Who else is on that? You've got Rocket. I think Grunty, is he on a lap as well? Yes. So keep an eye on Rocket. Oh, and he's getting a slipstream from Whip and Run shot. Here's the teamwork. Is it going to work? Very big slipstream. It's free. He's 3 temps up. It's working. This is very good. First time in the Williams, and he's helping out his teammate. Is it going to be enough? It might do it. Oh, his big slide. Is that going to cost him? Yes, it did. Oh, that massive sideways moment, which he nearly hit the pit lane wall. Just saw the replay on the stream, and it's cost him pole. Grunty improved to 27.2, but I's the best. Takes pole position only just. Yeah, Quaker Oats is back in as well, but I's the best. Pole position in the Red Bull. Fantastic, but that big slide from Rocket out of the chicane. Ooh, it would be frustrated, Rocket, to miss out on that by that much. Quaker Oats by 1,000th ahead of Spooky as well. Very, very close. Stretch in 5th. Just ahead of one shot. Oof. There we have it. I's the best. See if we can have a word of him. I believe that's his first pole as well. Just confirming with him if he does. Let's join. Hello, I's. Include your audio, please. Wow. Pole position. Is that your first pole this season? I don't remember you getting a pole this season. You might have had one. I'm not sure. Well, Well, very, very well done. Only just. Oh, okay. Very well done. A couple of hundreds ahead of Musical Rocket. Um, did you expect to be near the front of the grid tonight? Yeah, I saw that slide from Rocket coming out the chicane. Looked like it did cost him, but you won't be complaining because you'll start the grid, obviously. I don't know if you know that Rocket is on the medium tires. Ah, right. Well, you're on softs though, so obviously you expect to pull away from him and hopefully get a gap, I would assume. Ah, okay. I was going to say it's not raining, is it? Yeah. Good. Good result for your teammate is well, I think, or was he? Where was he? Uh, yeah. Um. You've had a roller coaster season, I guess. Safe to say, because there's a few podiums in there, but a few rough patches as well. I guess you just want to end this season on strongly, so you can think about next season positively. Yeah, yeah. Last podium was Belgium, second place in that one. Yeah, I see. Um, yeah, obviously race, stay out of trouble, stay with the lead pack as well. Yep, and hopefully have a good one. All right, good luck. All right, there we have it. Apparently, source is going to be another 15 minutes, so he's just going to catch the start of the race, I believe, or something like that. So, I'm going to take you through the first stint, and in fact, we're just about ready to go because I, the best was in fact the lobby host. Obviously, he was talking to me there. Millsy on the hard tyres is an interesting one on the very back. Hopefully, you have a good race. Very, very overcast, but apparently no rain, so I guess we'll stay that. But very dull conditions, very overcast for this F3 race. And we'll see what happens. Obviously, Rocket and Whip and Run Shot on the mediums. Key for them would be stay with the lead pack as best they can as we get to the tyres now. Yeah, so inside the top 10 you've got Rocket and One Shot on the mediums, second and sixth respectively. I's obviously thinking that Rocket is gonna a wayward moment there from Rocket on his formation. That obviously I's is wary that Rocket is going to get a good start, so we'll see what happens with that on the run down to turn 1. It's not a long run down to turn 1, so he might just be able to hold him off. But Millsy starting 16th on the hard tyres, bit of a gamble. Needs to get them working as soon as possible. Eager to get temperature into them, as you can see there. Swift, I think, is the one to watch here. If he can gradually pick his way through the field, he might be into contention. Start on the medium tyres as well. Can work on the alternate strategy. Same as his teammate as well, Matty. 15th and 30. Blazer 14th as well. I think was very unlucky to miss out the top 10. Quirky in 12th. followed by the two Renaults, MW in 11th, Shane in 10th. And then the two Racing Points, Camo just behind Grunty. E7, Crazy Fish. Obviously, I is his teammate saying that Crazy Fish disappointed he's not in top 4. So he'll be eager to move forward. Needs to get ahead of one shot as soon as possible. Again, starting on the medium tyres. Championship leader Stretch, P5. He can at least see Musical Rocket. I think he'll be keen to get ahead of his championship rival in this race. Spooking P4 in the McLaren is next. Third is Quaker Oats in the Alpha Tauri. Second is Musical Rocket on the front row. And our pole sitter, his first pole since China, according to the guy himself, starting on pole in the Red Bull. Only just. And we saw that mistake from Rocket. He's more than likely going to be frustrated to miss out on that pole position just like the way he did. That slipstream that he got from his teammate, but he's got to put his motions to one side, head down for the race. Let's see what happens. We all gridded up, waiting for Millsy in 16th. Be the last person on the grid. There he goes. Now, hopefully, we don't get a restart like last night. It's all lock into place. Let's see as we go down the long run, down to turn 1. Here we go. 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out of the way they go. Eyes the Best does get a good, better start than Musical Rocket. In fact, Quaker Oats is looking at the outside of Rocket and sweeps around the outside in the second. Rocket wouldn't mind too much because he's in 3rd place, and we all got through cleanly. Yes, we have. Still going 2 by 2 for the S's though. Millsy trying to pick his way through past Matty there. Swift is already up into 10th place. He's had a great start. Shane has dropped to the back. He's had a bit of a iffy moment. Rocket trying to edge his way alongside Quaker. They're trying to go side by side through the Degners. That's never going to work. But Rocket very keen to move forward as Blazer Guns has had a big off through the Degners, and it's a safety car. Safety car halfway around the lap. Big off for Blazer Guns has triggered it. It's a bit of a... There's damage for Shane as well. But no one retiring, so it's a bit of a weird safety car call, but don't think it will change a few things. Obviously Shane and Blazer will get their damage out of the way, so that's good for them. We all calm ourselves down after a hectic start. Very clean through turn 1 and 2 by the looks of it. A few offs through the S's. Eyes kept the lead, and Quaker just moved into 2nd, although Rocket was battling with him through the S's there. Wonder if anyone is going to go onto a different tyre. I don't think really is... Oh, Ice Pits. Ice Pits. Hands Quaker the lead. Interesting. What's he going to go on? Hard tyres? Surely not. Mediums. Okay. Odd quarter, mate. Crazy Fish also in, so double stat for the Rebel. Did Crazy Fish get damage? No, he didn't. So they're both thinking same strategy. Very intriguing. Matty's in as well. I think front wing damage for him as well, but Blazer Guns, both Renaults in as well. Let's see. Let the timing page has sort itself out because it's gone a little bit haywire. Let's see who stops. So Eyes, Crazy. So Eyes and Crazy Fish, that's purely strategy. And it's an interesting call from Eyes that's giving up big track position. Managed to keep the... He can't surely take mediums to the end. Very interesting call. Just waiting for Shane to go through first sector. I've got the heads-up display. Right, there's the position change. Swift had a very good start. I thought he would gradually make his way through the field, but he made 5 places on that first lap. Obviously, very good getaway from the grid. So he's up 7 because of everyone pitting. Millsy on his hard tyres, because of everyone pitted, he's now up into 10th, which is could be an interesting one as well, but he's going to have everyone that has pitted all behind him. I think anyone else is going to pit. It's definitely an interesting call for Mize, pitting from the lead. If he ends up on the podium, I will, like, question it. I mean, clearly it's something that they've practiced, or they both know, because they both did it. Both Eyes and Crazy Fish both decided, they're obviously thinking if a safety car comes out on the first lap, this is what we're going to do. See whether that pulls off. 15 viewers so far is a little bit lower than normal. I don't think there's anything else on that's taken interest. It might be a... Oh no, it's 20 now. Hey, there we go. Yeah, race has started, lads. On in. Lads and ladies, of course. There might be ladies watching. Right. So in terms of Rocket... I mean, this safety car kind of helps Rocket a little bit. One shot as well. If on the mediums, yet to pit. Of course, they're not going to pit for a while. Either. Swift. The safety car kind of helps Swift as well. Kind of brings him still in it. Behind both racing points, though. There he is. No penalties yet. Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things, Aaron, that clearly they think this is going to work because they both did it. It's both tactical. They didn't have damage. I mean, I think Fish was still top 10-ish as well, so it's clearly an idea or a strategy call that they think, you know, is going to work. But it's given a trap position, and it's not that easy to overtake around here, so we'll see what they can do. They definitely can't take mediums to the end. Hards, maybe. But again, I would never recommend them, even to my biggest enemy. Safety car in this lap. Oh, so Quaker's going to have to bunch everyone up. He's got to wait until the safety car goes in. This is very difficult for Quaker to do this. We're going to bunch up. And when is he going to go? When is he going to go? There he goes. And Spooky was nearly past. Oh, Swift 5-second time penalty. Who did he clip? Oh, he clipped Grunty on the restart. And he's dropping back. What's happened to Swift? There he is. Oh, he's got damage as well. There must have been contact between him and Grunty. And that's not what he needed at all. So not good from him. One shot is all over the back of Stretch. He's got Camo chasing him as well. But Swift, after making that great start... Oh, I see. Fair enough. After making that great start, Swift has got damage, and that is not going to help him at all. Still... Well, he's lost a place to Quirky. Breaker still leads. As Grunty nearly runs into the back of his teammates to go through the hairpin. We're back underway once again. One shot's looking very... I said he was looking very... Going to say he was looking very good on his mediums. Runner's a bit... Leader's pulling away. Rocket is stuck to the back of Quakerotes, who is... lagging a bit. Only Xing on my screen. Maybe it's just me. I didn't see him lag out, but maybe he has. Maybe he has, actually. And Rocket is firmly alongside. It's a little bit difficult here. On the inside. No. Maybe it's just me. It's all over the place. Really don't know what's going on. He's red Xing on mine. As Rocket, yeah, maybe he has jumped out. It's not popped up on my screen. So I don't know what's going on with his connection. One shot. Oh, he's massive lag spike. Massive lag spike for Quaker. He's back in. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he had lagged out. One shot has had an off through somewhere. So he was doing pretty good. He's now dropped back. Musical Rocket takes the lead. Ahead of now Spooky, Quaker stretched up into 4th. And Camo keeping tabs with everyone in front of him as well. It's really unfortunate for Quaker. That now hands the advantage to Rocket. And now these guys up behind have really got to stick to the back of him. Well, ideally try and overtake. Stretch using a bit of VRS on the back of Quaker. I don't think it's going to be close enough for a move. Diamond pages are gone. Fantastic. Camo's keeping these top 4 honest in that racy point. He's dropping his teammate. Although Camo has a 5-second penalty. Maybe it was Camo that Swift made contact with. Wacky Turtle fastest lap. In 7th. My timing pages are back once again as Quaker was on the inside of Spooky as Blazer Guns has retired it in the pits at the back. That's a shame for Blazer. But Quaker's very eager to not let Musical Rocket get away. I don't think Spooky has the pace to keep up with him. Quaker might, Stretch might, but they're struggling to find a way by. In fact, Stretch is under big pressure from Camo. As, there's yellow flag. Mills, he's adding off and he's got big damage on. He must have had a mistake on the edge of the S's. He's not looked comfortable at the track at all today. Maybe his points record is starting to ebb away because he's on the hards. He's got a pit as well, and that's not going to be good for him at all. He got loaded this race left, and Musical Rocket is steadily putting away. Oh, it's a big moment on the edge of the spoon curve, but I do think Quaker or Stretch need to get by Spooky here. As he's got a run on him through 130R, eases off a little bit because of the dirty air. He's going to make a lunge into the cane, thinks about it, but no, Stretch. Oh, headbutt from Stretch. He's under big pressure from Camo. I think Source is available to jump in, but I'll leave it as a bit of a quiet moment because we've got battling going on. And all this, Spooky's kind of given Musical Rocket a bit of a helping hand here because he's struggling in this early stage, and Quaker, Stretch, Camo all thinking Rocket's just disappearing. You can barely see him. There he goes. Top of the S section. Running away from Grunty a little bit. Oh, big wide moment. Camo is desperate to keep up with these top 4 as Quaker. Is he going to do a Kobayashi style lunge? He is. On the inside. Lovely move. That's a move Kobayashi or Sato would be proud of at that hairpin. Lovely move. I don't think there was any contact either. And that was, I think that's going to be crucial for Quaker to try and keep with Rocket. Is about 2 seconds up the road. And on mediums no less as well. He's looking very good. Is Rocket. Even into, I'll try and get Source whenever there's a second of quiet moment. A lag jump there. Apologies. Yeah, I agree, Aaron. That's a great overtake from Quaker Oats, and he's already caught Rocket by a couple of tenths. The only problem is they're getting to the edge of the soft tyres in terms of their stint. Grunty's now latched onto the back of these guys, bringing along Quirky Turtle with him, so this is all still very close to the podium. Apologies. Invite please from Source. Let me get Source in. You can help me throughout the rest of this race. Hello, Mr. Sauce. Hello, Mr. Sauce. How you doing? Everything all right? All right, all good. Since yeah, send a game invite so you can jump on in. Oh, okay, fair enough. Right, just give a little mic check. Source, if you can do like a 1-2, 1-2 or something like that. Right, can we all hear Source? Stretch, move on, Spooky outside. All right. Gee, there was room on the right stretch. Through anyway. You can't hear yourself. Oh.
1-2.
Did you not include it before?
Oh, I think I'm in there. It was, but I think you can hear me now. Oh,
Can you hear yourself?
Yep, Camera gets a free second.
There he is. There he is. He can hear you now.
All sorted now.
Right, so have you watched it since the start, or?
No, I've only literally just got home, so.
Okay, fair enough. So slightly a little rundown. So we had a safety car on lap 2, which is a weird one because nobody retired. There's a bit of damaged front wing. That's what it was.
Camera's
got a
Jeez.
Yep. Yeah, Spooky struggling on the end of this last few laps. He's dropped back behind Stretch, Quaker, and now Camo as well. Yeah, Rocket leads this race. Started on the mediums. Was in second behind pole sitter Eyes the Best. I'm still trying to get my head around it, Source, because Eyes from the lead pitted for mediums. On the second lap.
Did he have damage?
Nope. Neither did Crazy Fish. They both did the same thing. Yeah.
Unless
they can't go to the they can't go to the end, can they? So
them with the pace, because would you say at the moment Eyes would be provisional pole?
Hey, he was
people
leading.
don't pass him. Yeah,
He
but
was
if
leading. Well, this is the thing. He's
pitted,
given up. He's given up track positioning to Rocket. He's effectively on the same strategy as Rocket, only like two laps fresher.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's going to help him out with the soft runners ahead of him, who he's actually who he's like sort of catching at the moment. It's just whether if he can go a bit longer than Rocket. So will he drive in with Rocket just to stay with him, or will he try and go one more lap or 2 laps quicker, longer than Rocket to try and capitalise on the pit? But Eyes is right on the back of Quirky Turtle.
Got Grunty as well, just ahead of them. Yeah, Aaron actually said it in the chat himself. He's given up track position and he's now been held up. This isn't exactly an easy track to overtake.
No, we had a few decent moves, obviously last night in F2, which was once again a great race to commentate from me. So
it wasn't a great race from my perspective. I just trundled
around.
No,
I don't know what happened because
I had no pace and then just lost it at the end of the S's. That's all it was. I hate this track with a passion, racing it. Love watching it.
Quirky's right on the back of Brunty right now.
Oh, eyes, don't.
Oh. Quirky's come off, but he's run wide.
It's tensed up. Swift right behind him as well. Oh,
I think he's let him through. I think he let him through there. But Crazy Fish is also trying to follow Swift through.
He's trying to follow his own teammate, isn't he? He's like,
which he has done. Shane's now on the back of Quirky Turtle. Going to the inside, then to the outside. Inside of the spin curve. What a move! Oh, Shane goes wide though.
Oh, contact! And Matty got innocent bystander.
To me, that sort of looked like a racing incident. He sort of, as he come back on track, it looked like he was as far as he could be on the track.
I think Shane was a bit enthusiastic.
Yeah, he was a bit. He was a bit impatient.
Outside of one, inside
Grundy
another.
and Stretch is now pitted, so that brings Eyes back up to second. But obviously, Rocket's on 11 laps. He's on 9 laps, which now it's going to be interesting. You've got 8.5 seconds to try and catch to Rocket. It's just now wondering if he can make it out of time before Rocket pits, because they're both obviously going to be pitting to the soft tyres.
You know what it feels to me, and this is nothing against Eyes. This is just an opinion here. This strategy seems like to get a good result, not necessarily win.
I can see that. Obviously, you'd still really want to win. But I feel like he would have thought about it just before the race and thought, I would have wanted to start on the mediums. I mean, if you think about it, he's technically got if he's pitted under safety car to the mediums, then he's basically got a free pit. Even though he's lost a few spaces, it's a free pit for him. Which,
as I said, anybody in the chat that's like, that's really, I'm trying to bring Eyes down. I'm not. I would do the same thing. He didn't feel confident in this track.
Like that as well, to be honest.
Yeah, he didn't feel confident coming into this track. It's like, I just want a good result here. I don't know though, because when you're on lap 13.
The only battle at the moment is Crazy Fish and Swift. Well, Crazy Fish has got DRS and ERS open to the inside of him for turn 1. Move done. Almost a bit of contact by Swift. Very close.
Swift's not doing too bad actually. You got a little bit of front wing damage.
They're both on
after
the.
the.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. Swift's on.
You got front wing damage on the exit of the end of the safety car period. Hit, I think, Camo. I put two and two together, considering they both got.
He hasn't fixed it.
Yeah, he still has. Yeah.
And he's up in 4th, and obviously if he can keep his tyres until he goes to the soft tyres, then it's gonna unless he feels perfectly fine with the damage and doesn't fix his wing, it's not gonna cost him. But if he fixes it, he's gonna have to try and fight back through the pack to get up.
Yeah.
But Eyes has actually lost 2 seconds to Rocket. Rocket is running away with this at the moment.
Grunty trying to edge by Spooky at the hairpin, but not close enough. For those yet to pit, you got Rocket, One Shot, and Swift yet to pit. I think Eyes and Crazy Fish need to pit again as well.
Yeah, Matty's on. Obviously, you got Matty down in 12th on the hard tyre, so he's looking to go to the end. Same as Quirky and Grunty, and Stretch, sorry. They're all looking to go to the end on their tyres. And Quakers as well, sorry. Stretch. Spooky, Camo. Yeah, so a lot of them's looking to go through the thing. You've got Grunty right on the back of Spooky coming to turn 1. Nicely done. Had a lot of speed through there.
Jeez, bit of a low.
Spooky's going to try and keep
low drag, I think.
That's a bit fast there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Camo's obviously trying to follow his teammate through, but you just got to get closer to him.
That was the thing I struggled last night, because obviously I had a down 4C draggy setup, so I could basically cope with the S's. But every time I got to a straight, I mean, everybody just flew past me. So, your track. Mr. Camo, start getting the penalties. You're up to 6 now.
A bit wide.
Swift's evening so far, Source, has actually been like massively up and down, because he topped Q1 by 2 tenths over a musical rocket, crashed in Q2, spun it in the S's, lost his front wing, so on. Amazed that he was able to continue from that, and then his batteries fell out as he was braking for the chicane, and then he crashed in the end of that.
Oh.
and then he gained, I think it was 5 places on the first lap to get to the top 10, and then hit one of the racing points. I think it was Camo. Put 2 and 2 together, 5-second penalty for both of them.
Meanwhile, speaking of Camo, he's right on the back of Spooky for the DRS zone. He's activated it. He hasn't activated the ERS there. He feels like his pace is just going to drag him through.
Oh,
To the inside of turn 1. Oh, bit of contact.
Oh,
Spins.
Whoa, hella camera.
He hasn't picked up any damage. He didn't clip the wall or anything.
That was a lovely camera angle there.
Quirky's right on the back of one shot there.
I don't think there was anything malicious with that.
I was watching it
just...
as well. I don't feel like there was.
I love the camera angle of it.
Cameron maybe could have given him an extra bit of room, but it's one of those that
It's tough to go side by side through there, isn't it? Though
I haven't done much racing on that track, but yes, it's very, very hard. Oh, Make a race almost loses it.
Yeah, you saw that.
Swift is getting closer to Crazy Fish as he did at the end of last lap. He used ERS and DRS to get close to him. He's going to try and make a move through to the start-finish straight right now. Activating ERS and DRS. Using the slipstream as well to drag him through into turn 1. Gets past him.
I am amazed.
Oh, that!
Oh no! What happened there? Did he just...
It looked like Fish had a better exit out of that turn 1 than Swift did, and there was Swift just ran into the back of Fish running into back of Swift. Might be an interesting. Will be an interesting one for the stewards to be honest.
That looked almost as if you break mid corner, but as you say, I just think the exit. He is running no traction for the first time. He bogged down mid corner or something. Yeah, Swift.
It was because I think it was a mixture between Fish had obviously the wider line which helped him with the exit, but obviously Swift may have had to break an extra bit just to make sure he didn't go wide on the exit of that corner, and they both just come together. It's gonna be a one for the stewards obviously to decide and see what happens, but yeah. I feel like it's kind of a racing incident. It wasn't malicious or anything. Oh, Swift has gone off again.
Yeah, it's rough race continues. Such a shame as well. And I think it just epitomises if this is his first proper thing on no traction. Yeah. Consistency.
I would just turn it back to medium.
Yeah. He's having problems with his control. That could have been it.
He's jumping into the pit. So
his controller may have died again.
Grunty and Camo's both moved up with the racing points, just sticking together.
Solid race so far from the pair of them.
It's a little bit spread out now. We haven't got many battles. Eyes has lost another 2 seconds to Rocket in the time that we were watching those battles. Rocket's just running away with this right now.
He's in control. Been in complete control ever since. Well, Drake obviously had to pit, and Eyes pitted earlier as well. He's just thinking, I just won my own race here. Not even using a lot of ERS, he's just in a good rhythm.
Yeah, he don't need to use the ERS. He ain't got no pressure on him, he's just cruising at the moment.
Ain't doing alright.
Wonder if he's gonna jump into the pit. Yeah, he's diving into the pit right now. Eyes is coming through to the Casio Triangle right now.
16 laps on medium. Someone in the chat said, I think it's Aaron, who's actually the brother of Eyes, will Eyes get 24 laps out of the tyres? I was told yesterday they can only do 17 at most. So
Shane's dove into the pit as well. Now, will Rockets come out? Yeah, Rockets.
Oh, virtual.
Oh, what's that for? Rip a one shot.
Oh yeah, he's off. Edge of the S's, not the S's. Spin curve.
Oh.
Oh, right in the exit.
He must have just hit that curb. Do you reckon he hit the inside of the curb or the outside and just spun?
Probably outside. Because it's a bit further in. Alright, Chris, have a good evening. He's off to bed. Virtual safety car actually helped out Shane massively because he pitted at that point.
He pitted just before, yes. Which would have...
Onto softs,
Matty would have got ahead of him as well. So even though he would have been on the hard... Obviously, Shane's on the softer tyres and everyone in front of him, apart from Musical Rocket. Still a hard track to overtake, so he would have been in dirty air for most of the race continuing. Meanwhile, Crazy Fish obviously pitted, I think, the lap before that. He's in 9th at the moment. But that helps the racing point of Grunty and Camo moving up to 5th and 6th. Who's still sticking together. Grunty's... Camo's actually closing in on Grunty a bit.
They're going to have the attention of the Renault behind. They're going to have Shane on their case in, what, 2 laps, I think. Ice pits. He definitely couldn't get to the end. Musical
Rocket is already through, so I don't think the overcut has worked for him. Quaker Oats is through as well. Stretch is through with Grunty and Camo. Yep, they've both come through as well, so that's 4th and 5th for those. Shane...
Is he going to come out ahead of Shane?
I don't believe so.
Oh, no. Oh no.
So, will he come... If he comes out behind Matty, though, that's... No, he's going to be out before Matty. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Shane there. So it's not too bad, but Camo's getting closer to Grunty at the moment. I wonder if they'll have team orders and see if Grunty will let Camo go by.
Oh, tough team orders. Actually, it's one of those.
I haven't looked at the moment, but who's winning the championship at the moment?
Championship overall is Stretch. Ooh. 15 points ahead.
He's in 3rd at the moment.
Rocket.
How many points?
15. So if it finishes like this, the gap would be 5 points going into USA next week.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
If it finishes like this. Because actually, Quaker's just recently got a penalty.
Yes,
and Stretch
we have...
The Stretch will go to 2nd.
Yeah, he's only got 3 seconds. Not too bad. Both of the racing points got 9 seconds together. So obviously Grunty's on the 3 seconds. Camo's got the 6. So at the moment, Grunty would finish in 4th. And Camo would finish in 6th, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to have Shane and I as the best in like the next few laps, though.
Yes, which isn't obviously good for those.
No.
Camo's very close to Grunty. Grunty goes a little bit wide. It's getting a bit close for these two now. Crazy Fish is right on the back of Matty, though. Start finish straight. Nicely done. Just no panic.
Oh, Swift. Virtual again. Swift is dropped in the chicane. His roller coaster of a race ends. That's a shame.
I've only had to deal with one virtual safety car in my racing this season. Obviously, I've gone down to reserve at the moment, but the only one I've had to deal with was the one that in the Dutch Grand Prix. I can't remember who was in front of me, but he just got a driver penalty and gave me the win. So virtual safety car's over there.
Yeah, you've obviously got this stuff on there. Swift, leave that kind of chat out of this chat, please. Leave to the stewards. Obviously, if you have a clip, then move it to there, but don't bring it into here, please. Obviously, I know you're disappointed, but don't need hostilities.
I feel like Camo's going to get past Grunty on the start-finish straight, closing in easily on him in the Casio triangle. And you got Matty. I think Matty's closing in. Do you want to keep an eye on Matty?
Yeah. Well, Crazy Fish just got by him, and I think Matty on the hard tyres.
Yeah. Camo's.
This will be an outside.
Camo's making a move to the outside of Grunty. Turn 1. Grunty's obviously backed out of that, not to make sure there was no contact.
Now, if you're going to bring team orders, it's alright, Swift, thank you for apologising. Now, if I was going to do team orders, I would actually have Grunty finish ahead of Camo, because Camo has more penalties. That's just me. But
I mean, as well
he
as
moves.
well,
Fine.
they've got Shane trying to close in on him quite quickly. He's got 2 seconds on him in the last 2 or 3 laps. Spooky's out. And that's in the pit.
Yeah, retired it.
So
Had a good qualifying, but his race pace hasn't looked comfortable. He was at the back. I think he got caught out in a few things, so we're down to 11 drivers.
as well as the team orders, though, the thing is, if Shane and Ice both manage to catch up to Grunty and Camo in the next 2 laps, would you try and get Grunty, even though he's got the less penalties, because Camo's got 6? Would you try and get Grunty to hold them up, to give Camo the space to try and run and get the 6 seconds on them?
Well, they've got to sort it out soon. They're not going to have long.
No, because
It seems to me they're kind of even on pace here, because Grunty's like right back at him at the same place. Not using
I
RS
think they're
though.
just helping themselves. They're just helping each other out, just pulling each other along. Rocket hasn't got too far ahead of Quaker Oats. Obviously, Quaker Oats still got the 3-second penalty, so he dropped down to 3rd as it stands. He'd still be on the podium.
That's 70% ERS, and he's just gradually pulling away.
Yeah, his
Commentators-
ERS management is just incredible at the moment. He's just, as long as he keeps it clean, he doesn't mess up. then
Commentators
he
curse
should be
and
fine.
all that.
Yes.
It's his to lose.
Oh, not this again.
Well, it is. He's on the softer tyres, gradually pulling
Yes.
away. He's
Got-
easily going to get to the end on those tyres.
Yeah, and he's got so much ERS to play with as well. Like, you don't even if Quaker Oats catched him, he's got the ERS just to keep him behind.
Ammo. 9 seconds.
Oh no.
I'm just pointing out, I didn't get that much yesterday. I didn't last that long, but I didn't get that much.
I'm so good I didn't
The
get a
answer-
pen. Look.
He has the most by a mile. Let's wait till next week and then Mexico. That's where I get disqualified in like 2 weeks probably.
I can't remember. I think it was Mexico that I was doing well, and then I clipped somebody and spat into the wall. I think you were commentating. Cameras let Grunty
Oh,
through.
what's going on here?
There's going to be a bit of team orders there now.
Ooh. Team orders!
Maybe because Camero's obviously got that extra penalties, so he's going to try and he's letting Grunty just try and go, and he might be trying to hold up Shane and Ice because they're closing. They're within 2 seconds of him now, so maybe Camo's going to be trying to hold up Shane.
Possibly.
But looking at the back of Camo now, you can see Shane in the view. Camo is obviously going to be keeping an eye on that.
And all three know each other, and know each other very, very well, so they'll be enjoying this, but friendships are going to be tested. And of course, Eyes is still there, so gradually closing these
Just over a second
this
behind
grouping.
of Shane. So you're going to be trying
They
to...
had them on penalties.
Yeah.
There's
so
the thing with Shane, he doesn't
Shane
have
would
to
go
overtake
fourth.
these two.
Shane would go to... Would he go to... Yeah, he'd go to 4th at the moment. Top three would basically stay the same, just Stretch and Quaker Oats would swap.
And that's important as well, because the gap would only close by... Oh, yellow flag. MW has had a big off head of the S's.
Any damage?
Just gets going as...
No damage?
No. Just gets going as Rocket is a few corners behind him. Obviously, you can get out
Shane's
of the way.
really close to Camo right now. Within a second. Eyes has actually fell
it's
off a
good.
little bit of Shane.
Might have been a mistake, but this is the big battle here. What's Shane going to do about these two racing points? He doesn't have to overtake him. He can just sit here. Fourth would be his. Got no penalties.
Well,
But Shane's a,
He went a bit
Shane's a
wide there.
competitive one.
he went a bit wide
Shane-
there. I was waiting for the penalty to pop up.
Yeah. Shane's a competitive one though, isn't he? He
I mean,
You're
the
probably like,
dive that he did
I just want to
earlier
pass
was
him on
insane,
track.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, because he spun as well, didn't he, last? on that spoon curve. He went,
well, slightly sideways.
yeah, and even to come out and still be in 6th place, and pushing for 4th.
It's not bad. MW has retired, so we now have 10.
Everyone gets points.
Yeah, I think so, as the rule goes.
Swift actually has the fastest lap at the moment. But obviously, he's down in 13th and retired. So at the moment, nobody's getting the fastest lap.
No. Oh.
What's happening there?
Yes. AI car always does that.
Yeah. I thought it was Shane's car. I
Dies
was
a
like,
bit.
"Huh?" But I'm watching Shane's car.
Alright. Oh.
Shane's going to be trying to. See, if I'm going to try and get past us, if I'm going to try and get past, if I was Shane, I would wait until after the spoon curve. Because you got that long straight then. Even if you get between them in the long straight after the spoon curve, then you got the Cato triangle to stay in front of Camo, and then the DRS zone of the starting straight to get ahead of Grunty, and then try and pull away from them.
Grunty made an absolute meal of the S's. Camo nearly followed him in.
Eyes looks like he's still struggling to just try and stick with them.
Hasn't really had the pace on these softs really. Start closing these in. Well, Shane has the problem of, right, I've caught them. Now what do I do? Or is he just going to stay here? Camo's again got another run. They're trying to sort themselves out here. Meantime, Rocket has another lap. He's 6 seconds ahead.
Still clean. Do you want me to do penalties quickly?
I've got it on the screen. It's all good.
Okay.
Camo's got a blitz by
Oh!
Grunty. Oh, they...
Oh, he's gone!
Grunty gave him a little bit of a rub, I guess, on the way by. Shane, I think, tries in a way.
Stay with him.
Oh, lag. I do lag now. Oh. Yeah, I think Shane's just gonna sit here. So I don't need to. You've been cutting corners, so I'll just stay here. I'll get 4th on me. I don't need to overtake you.
The one thing I want to look at is Shane. Warning. Got one warning.
Meanwhile, Rocket.
Shane has 2 warnings. If Shane gets another warning, he does pick up a penalty, which would not help him with Grunty. Spooky with 5 seconds. I think he might be. Wait, who was that?
What?
Who got the 5 second then?
No, that was Spooky a while ago when he retired.
Oh, it's only just popped up for me. That's a bit interesting.
Rocket on his last lap. Shane's nowhere near enough for a move. I think he's just like, I'm just going to stay here. Racing points a little bit too close for comfort.
He's still got 40% ERS to use, which both racing points have got 15%. So
I'm thinking if he had to overtake, I think he would like push harder. But he's like, nah, I'll just stay here. No point. No point pushing. Eyes is closing on this lap, but I think he's comfortable.
Rocket's coming through to the spoon curve.
Hey, Matty fastest lap. Someone does get the point.
Lovely.
Unless Rocket is pushing on this lap, which he might be. Yeah, he's using overtake. He wants to have it back.
That's why he was saving all his ERS. Shane's got the gas, the fuel light on. So does Grunty. So does Camo. And Stretch. And Quirky.
Yeah. But nice controlled, would say almost dominant victory for Musical Rocket. Nearly hits the barrier that was sticking out there. Jeez.
Shane's using all of his ERS right now. Trying to get past Grunty. Goes to the inside of the Casio triangle.
Oh, you don't need to do this. point.
Gives him the space. Does he get past him?
Hey,
Nicely done.
there we go. Robust overtake.
Meanwhile,
Didn't
Eyes
need
is going to
to.
jump up. Eyes jumps
Oh.
ahead of them both.
Shane missed out on a podium by 3/10 to Quaker.
Oh no!
Wow.
If he used that ERS
Quaker
earlier.
Well, actually, if he'd been more aggressive and passed the racing points earlier, or at least one of them earlier, might have been close enough. But Shane just misses out on a podium.
He's
Scratched the
going to
second,
be
Quaker
kicking
third.
himself.
Yeah.
But
Matty,
fourth.
Shane 4th, Ice 5th, Grunty 6th, Camo 7th, Crazyfish 8th, Matty 9th, and Quirky Turtle will get the 10th place. Nice robust overtake to end the race there from Shane. Gets the game drive of the day. Probably one of the nominations at the end on the Twitter poll.
This was a beautiful race from Rocket, from when I joined it. Just running away with it.
With with obviously Quaker's pit stop, I think the crucial thing for that race is him getting through on the medium tyres through Q2. He got through by a couple of attempts.
I'm going to invite top
Q3,
3 to party.
so-
Okay. Yeah,
you.
Rocket, Stretch, and Quaker. Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright, they're all invited.
The most important thing is obviously when he lost second place to Quaker, he didn't panic. He kept with the lead gap. And in the end, the 3 that are still challenging for this championship are the 3 that finished on the podium. Just in a different order as well.
Does this bring Stretch and Rocket closer together now then?
If my maths, 25, 18, 7 points, so was 15, would be now 8 points.
Oh.
It keeps
Going into
extending.
USA. That's all your DNFs as well.
Matty gets the fastest lap of the session as well, so that's an extra point down in ninth for him.
That's a good, lovely race. Oh, Quick doesn't have a mic, does he? Of course he doesn't. He hasn't had a mic for like 3 seasons.
Where did he finish? He finished third. Do you want me to message him?
Third. Yeah, if you can get a little paragraph from him if he wants to. I think it should be mandatory that you have a microphone of any kind, even if it's like a terrible one, like one of those, you know, that simple Xbox headset that hurts your head after about an hour.
I'm pretty sure I know whereabouts he's gonna say though.
Yeah.
Because he lagged out, didn't he? He had a problem or something, because I got past him.
Oh yeah.
I felt
disconnected, didn't
so
he?
bad, because like, in the past people have like waited for me, but it's because speaker was closing on me. I had to get the move done, and it just sucks, and I wasn't gonna get the
Early
position back.
it's early in the race as well. You know, it's one
Yeah.
of those that be civil to, but no one would like really shoot you down if you didn't.
Well, I've sent him, asked him what he would like to say.
If he wants to say it, but if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I put what would you like to say for coming third? But obviously, if you don't, then that's
Which
fine.
one do you want to ask the questions?
You choose. It's up to you. I mean, well, I would do Quaker, but
Stretch or
Gotta wait for
Rocket?
him.
Which one do you want?
I'll do Rocket because then I got Quaker as well. He's typing at the moment as well, so
Oh, okay, I'll use
Then I'll have-
Discording.
yeah.
Fair enough. Right, Mr. Stretch.
Hello.
Yeah, decent, solid result from you. Kept it consistent, kept it out of trouble. That's exactly what I'm kind of used to you this season, really. And your record and your results say everything, especially after last week. I must say, by the way, pointing on last week, GG, basically, taking hards from lap 2 towards the end and hanging on to 5th as well. Very good result. Could be a key one at the end of it, because that could have been so much worse. Could have been no points.
Oh yes, God yeah. I only gained like 2 points on musical that race, but yeah, it could have been none.
Yeah.
He could be 6 behind now. So yeah, I was happy, very happy with P5 after that.
Yeah.
As we know, 4 cars don't go into one corner at Russia. I had nowhere to go. I was on the inside and I was just it was a nightmare. But anyway.
This race, though, kind of similar in a way. Obviously different strategy and everything, and different circumstances, but kept out of trouble. Solid pace. Obviously, got Quaker Oats on penalties to move into second, which again could be a key result at the end of it, being how close this is.
Oh yeah, it's going to go down to the last race, I reckon.
Yeah, at the end of the day, obviously today, Rocket was just a bit too far out of reach, but you'd still be happy with second. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4th podium this season. So,
wow.
I guess you'd still be happy. Obviously, you lose points on Rocket, drops it down to 8 points, but again, it's another solid result, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm well happy with P2. I want to beat Musical, but every time I want to beat him, he wins. So, yeah, that seems to be the trait of the moment. And I wanted to overtake Quaker on track. I was pushing so hard to try and overtake him, but he was literally just out of reach. So, it was unlucky for him to get a penalty. I was keeping him under pressure, though. So, it doesn't surprise me that he got a penalty.
Yeah. Result you expect around Japan? Did you expect to be
I expect to
in with the lead pack?
Yeah, I expect to be quick around it. I love Japan, so, and on a wheel as well. It's just a great track. So I'm quite happy. It's P2.
Obviously, we'll speak to Rocket about the situation. 4 races left, 8 points the gap. As you say, could go down to the wire. I mean, effectively, because if Rocket wins and you get second, then Rocket does actually win by a few points. But I mean, if you stay within like a place of each other, it'll be very interesting going to the last race. I guess it's one of those things, though, that even if you end up on the losing side, it's still a great experience to be a part of.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I've improved so much this season. Massively. I've actually been practicing for a change instead of coming on the day and doing an hour's time trial. I've actually been practicing, so that's why my pace is good again. But yeah, I'd like to win. It'd be great to win, but I don't think Musical's definitely not going to make it easy for me. I'll tell you that now. Which is good.
3 races so far this season where you've been outside the points: Canada, Monaco, and Spain. The rest, your lowest was Bahrain with 9th place. So it's been a very solid, consistent season. As you say, you've improved consistency. Practice obviously helps with that. But obviously the goal is, it's one of those that you've got to keep an eye on Rocket, but also not kind of change your driving too much to kind of react to what he's doing. I'm guessing you're just going to drive as fast as possible.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. I won't change anything. So yeah. I'll get there. I hope so, anyway.
USA next week. What are we thoughts?
Oh yeah, I like USA.
In that,
I like USA. I imagine Musical likes USA as well. So.
The S section only backwards. Well, other way around.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to USA. It's gonna be good. I'll be.
All right. Should be a good battle to watch.
Yeah, I'll be up there again. Definitely.
All right, good luck next week, and well done in your podium.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Sauce, take it away.
Well, first of all, Quaker Oats replied. He said he's pretty happy. He said he got first, third, fourth, and now third in this race for the last 4 races. So he said he thinks he got obviously some good points haul lately. He also said congrats to Stretch and Rocket, obviously with the P1 and P2. He said, yeah, his dive bomb overtake at the hairpin was caught on stream, but obviously I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if you caught it.
What was that?
The Quaker is asking about his dive bomb into the hairpin. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yes. Yes. I said it was a move. I think it was a move that Kobayashi or Sato would be proud of. So yeah, I like that. It was good. No contact as well.
I think I might have just caught that before I joined the party, so looked like a nice move. Rocket.
Good evening.
Obviously P1. From when I joined, you were. I heard that eyes obviously went from P1 and pitted on safety car. It looks like you didn't decide to do that, and you obviously went for the position, and then you running away with it before you pitted. Were you trying to pit and get out just behind, or were you planning on trying to get ahead of him out of the pit lane?
I don't know really. It was kind of different strategy because I was on the medium, so I was just hoping just to see what happened. And I was like, I didn't want Ice to pit because Ice pitting obviously ruins his race, but it did get him a pit advantage. But in the end, sadly, it didn't work out because meant he had to pit again. May have worked if he was further back and he came forwards, but giving up the trap position definitely didn't help his race, which was sad to see.
Yeah, well, obviously after your pit stop, you dropped a few positions. Did you find it quite easy to just get back through up to first, and then just obviously running away with it? What was you thinking? Because we realised you had quite a lot of ERS. You had about 70% ERS, and everyone else had about 30 to 20. Were you just trying to be cautious, not get any pens, and just do what you can to just stick with the pace that you had, and keep everyone else behind?
Well, that was a complicated question. To be honest, when I pitted, I came out in P3, and then the two cars in front of me pitted, so I didn't actually have to overtake anyone. I just had to stay in front of Quakers, which, when that virtual safety car came out, the first one, I had it glitched, so it came out once, and on my screen it came out again, like straight afterwards, so it cost me at least a second, which almost let Quakers into the 1 second window, but obviously softs and he was on mediums, it didn't quite work out for him. This win does go to Jason though, who's the Moto3 rider who lost his life earlier on this week, so this was him.
Yeah, the same as Ruben was racing for him yesterday. Obviously, unfortunately, Ruben didn't finish the race. Did you expect to be on the podium, let alone P1 for Japan?
I love the track, like with a lot of passion with this track. But P1 probably not, because Swift had great pace. He just got unlucky in qualifying with his controller disconnecting, which DNF'd him, and then in the race he came across some people who took him out. But yeah, other than that, I was expecting it to be me versus Swift all weekend, but sadly he's not had it his own way.
Unfortunately for him, we saw a little bit of contact that he had. Obviously, I think it was with Shane. Obviously that didn't help him, but are you looking forward to USA, and where do you expect to qualify and finish the race next week?
No comment.
Keeping your cards close to your chest.
Don't do the no comment thing. Don't do the annoying police interview no comment thing.
Nah. Just turn up and race and pray for rain and see whatever happens.
Well, obviously, congrats on P1. Quite easy win for you. Quite far in front, so looked like a great race from you. So just congrats on P1. I don't know if Ruben has any questions for you.
No, just a controlled, almost dominant victory. Exactly what you need if you're still chasing down Stretch in the championship. And as I said, 8 points. I'm now doing F3 as well as F5. and F3 is looking very, very tasty. I hope it goes down to Abu Dhabi, but obviously we'll see what happens in our next 4 weeks.
8 points. That's what P1 to P2 7, isn't it?
Yep.
And then okay, so in
So
order
same
for me to,
same result in USA, then it'll be a point.
right, so
As long as you finish one place behind, behind. I can't remember who it was now. As long as you finish
Stretch.
one place behind him, you should be okay. Yeah, sorry, Stretch.
It's alright.
well, I guess it's coming down to what, because I believe anyone could still win this championship, right? I don't think anyone's
U2
been
and Quake,
properly been knocked
U2
out.
and Quake are just. U2 and Quake are just, I think.
The top 3. Jesus.
Ah, okay. Well, I do have a huge
I
shout
had to
out.
double check, but top of my head, it's U3.
I have a shout out to
Camo
my
was on my
friend
19.
who was rooting me on a race, so I'll take that. And then obviously Fish and Eyes were in my party, and then Fish spun, which was sad to see. Other than that, I've got nothing else to add, so I'll watch the comes back and then congratulate you after that.
Right, you done, Sauce?
Yes, I am. I haven't got any more questions for any of them. So
Sweet.
Good. I'm going to eat
Right.
my pizza now. Come on.
What pizza is it?
Oh, I got one of them Chicago Town ones. A really big
Okay.
one. Oh, it's massive.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni, yeah, man. All the way.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, man.
There you go. Enjoy that.
Yeah, we'll do.
Deserve it. Right, there we go. That has been the Japanese Grand Prix for F3. As I said, I'm now in the comms box producing this championship battle as it edges closer to Abu Dhabi. 4 races to go, 8 points the gap between these two. Can all change on a dime, though, because if these two DNF and Quaker wins, he's back in it. We'll make it a freeway. Yeah, what a... yeah,
Big stretch crashing? Question mark?
they got it.
Okay then.
Hey. Yeah, what a great race that has been. Obviously, Source, thank you for jumping in. And
that's okay. Sorry, I was a little bit late, but
Stint.
obviously you know the issues. So
You're setting in quickly, as if you had been here. So it's all good.
I'm trying my best.
It's all right. Yeah, good race from F3. They'll be back USA next week. A lovely favourite track of ours for league racing. Always produces a good race. No pressure, F3. Got to produce a good race now. And I said they'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow for the F5 division. Japan once again. As we edge in that championship, and obviously that championship's looking very good as well. F1 boys on the Wednesday, and then F4 is all finished off on the Thursday. Make sure you join us for all of that.
With me?
All 8 o'clock start time as well. So thank you very much for everyone watching, and we will see you next time.